if you're 18 years old and you don't know what you want to do, like you don't have your mindset on becoming a lawyer or a teacher or a doctor, listen up.
Even still a point, yeah, of trying to pursue like a degree in this modern day and age, yeah, only because of the fact that the value of a degree has gone down so bad, bro. It's gone down.
I was being nosy and listening to a couple of girls that work at my gym's conversation, and they were talking about how they've had all these job interviews, applied to all these jobs, can't get a job.
This guy says because it's not that the degrees themselves are being useless, it's that more industries are looking for even higher degrees now. Like, people are saying that bachelor's degrees, which back like 20 years ago was pretty special, is basically like a GED now. As employers are seeking higher education individuals, which by the way, these individuals are well over 100 grand in debt because college is expensive right now. And a lot of people are like, yeah, even getting these college degrees, trying to get a decent job nowadays is one of the hardest things ever. You know, a lot of my friends that I really had some fun with in undergrad, a lot of them are unemployed, or when they are employed, the job just doesn't pay that great, even when they have a bachelor's or even a master's. Check out some of these videos.
Do y'all ever just wonder why people major in certain things in college? Now, I'm an economics major. I also am getting my minor in psychology, but my ultimate goal is to go to law school and eventually work in like the civil sector or something like that. And because of my psych minor, I take a lot of classes in the liberal arts building. And the overlap between the type of people that you see in liberal arts versus the type of people you see in like the business economics side of your college is crazy. If you're like a student and you're majoring in STEM, if you ever get like a class in the liberal arts building, you're just gonna see a completely different side of your college. And same thing goes for liberal arts majors. Once you get your math class or your science class, it's a completely different side of college. Because anybody majoring in STEM, they actually work really hard. And you know, I've taken classes in liberal arts. It is not hard to get a good grade in liberal arts classes. But my whole point is, why do some people go to college if you're just gonna major in some of these liberal arts? Just to name a few: psychology, sociology, criminal justice, political science, and of course we can't forget women's studies or gender studies. All pointless degrees unless you go to grad school. And I know some people will say, well, psychology's not useless, you can go become a therapist. Look up the starting salary for a therapist. You have to go to school for 4 years for your bachelor's, and an additional 2 years for your master's. You're gonna be drowning in student debt, and your starting salary really isn't that high. Now, I understand not everybody wants to get a bachelor's of science, but when you can, it's always better to get a BS instead of a BA. And if you have no plans of grad school like I do, then please just pick a different major. I know people will say that, oh, you should major in what makes you happy. Yes, but also major in what can get you a job, so you can be a productive member of society.
If you are the son or daughter of an immigrant family, or your parents are not rich, why? Why would you get a useless degree? I do not get it. Like, your parents worked so hard to get to this point, and you're here getting a useless degree, and you likely don't even have something to fall back on. Like, I truly don't understand. You may just love the game, but I mean, if you're gonna do something like that, please just have a fallback or be smart about it, because your family worked way too hard to get here for you to not try. I may get canceled, but follow for more.
You guys want to know one of the most useless degrees in business school is? If you honestly ask me, is that guy right there. A degree in entrepreneurship. How laughable, man. Honestly, I feel really, really bad for all the kids who sign up for that major and honestly go there thinking they're going to learn about entrepreneurship. You want to learn about entrepreneurship? You better Nike that shit, homie.
Unless you guys want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a scientist, or an engineer, your college degree is becoming more and more useless by the day. I'm not saying that you don't learn anything from college. I'm not saying that college isn't useful. I'm just saying it's becoming more useless by the day. Because a couple of decades ago, if you had a college degree, especially from a good college, it pretty much guaranteed that you were going to have a good life, and you were going to make a solid income, and you were going to make good connections and get into the right places. I'm 24 years old. I have a business with 19 employees. Some of these employees have multi-$100,000 a year salaries. C-suite executives, right? CFO, COO, guys with 10 plus years experience in this industry. And I can guarantee you that I did not ask them what college they went to on their interview. I asked them what they've accomplished. What are you most proud of? Tell me your story, right? Talk to me about the previous places you worked and what you did there that had an impact. Talk to me about the things that went wrong. Talk to me about the biggest mistakes you've ever made, right? Those are the questions that matter, not what college did you go to. I'm not saying don't go to college. I went to college. I had a great time. I thought I got a lot out of it. I'm just saying that a college degree itself is becoming more and more useless. And so definitely do not rely on that, and definitely do not think that that is going to have the impact on your life that you want it to.
Degree in software engineering is not what it used to be. 4 or 5 years ago when your great aunt asked you what you were going to major in college and you said software engineering, and she replied, oh, you'll always have a job with that major. My husband helps a lot of recent college grads land roles in tech, and what he's seeing over and over again is engineering students transitioning to something like tech sales. Reason being, a lot of college programs for engineering are not as rigorous as they used to be, which means that grads are graduating without the competency to excel in an entry-level software engineering job. On top of that, a lot of their work is getting automated by AI. And then what he actually sees most commonly is people come to terms with the reality that being a software engineer is long 10-hour days, minimal human involvement, fixing back-end code in some company's security software. If that's your jam, that's awesome. Software engineering could be a great role for you. But if that sounds like your worst nightmare, then it might be time to pivot. What's cool is sales is a great way to get that human involvement, but then still have a foundation in tech, which for a lot of people, that's why they were interested in software to begin with.
Can someone please explain to me why I have to pay $87 to access my own homework? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. Let me explain. I am an online college student. I have to do online because I'm not near any big public universities. I also was working full-time, and now I'm looking for a new job, which has proven to be very difficult because no one is hiring and everyone just sucks. Anyway, actively applying for that. That's another story. I'm in 2 classes per term, which is every 60 days. I usually, because I'm on financial aid, I get a voucher that typically covers my textbooks. But this term, I only got $56 worth of a voucher. I paid for a $30 textbook. The other textbook that includes an access code, because for some reason, instead of the homework being on the school's website like it normally is, it's on a separate website. And you have to have an access code for that. Well, I can't just buy the access code. I have to buy the textbook with the access code, which is $87. And I should have money left on that voucher. The voucher won't work anymore. So, I have 70 points due tomorrow in this class. And I don't have $87. I don't. My family is poor. I do not have $87 for a digital textbook and an access code. The fact that you're already paying tuition. And then you're paying for like your own laptop, your own supplies, all that. Why am I paying $87 to access my own homework? I can't even get to the homework. Like, I can't even get to the page of the homework and then do it on like a Google Docs thing. Like, can someone please explain why they do this? This is why nobody is going to college and why people don't have degrees, because this is ridiculous. I'm already paying tuition. I'm already putting effort in. I'm already multitasking and working full-time because I was working full-time while I was doing school. And I will be working full-time once I get another job. $87 to access my own homework. $87. That's almost $100 to access my own homework. I'm about to lose my mind. I'm about to start a GoFundMe for my mental health. I don't know. I'm so done. I'm gonna go to bed.
If you're 18 years old and you don't know what you want to do, like you don't have your mindset on becoming a lawyer or a teacher or a doctor, listen up. If you're not one of those people that has their career path set out for them and they need their degree to do it, then college is a scam. Let me put this into context. You're paying $30,000 to $60,000 a year to learn from a professor and professors that are teaching you random shit in lecture halls, and oftentimes like they haven't actually built a business themselves. Meanwhile, you could join a course that's $500 anywhere to $5,000 from someone who's actually doing over $50,000 a month. And you can get one-on-one access to them where they can teach you exactly how to do what they're doing. Most oftentimes in trustworthy courses and trustworthy people that sell these courses, they give you an exact blueprint. They give you an exact roadmap of how to make money. You're so okay with doing what everybody else is doing and paying $30,000 to $60,000 and in most times going into debt to go to college instead of just joining a mentorship program and learning from somebody who's making a lot of money online right now. That doesn't make sense to me.
Story time on what made me realize college was a scam. Now, if you're somebody who's going to or went to college for a degree, this video is not for you. If you're somebody who's going to or went to college to get money, this is for you. So the reason why I went to college in the first place was because that was the only way that I thought I could make a lot of money in a short amount of time. So my plan was, okay, cool, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna be a software engineer. As soon as I graduate, I can, make anywhere between 100 to 200 grand a month, 100 to 200 grand a year being a software engineer. And then I can scale my way up, build my own company or whatever, the situation was. And so as I'm in school, I start seeing kids around my age making a whole bunch of money, doing stuff that, did not need a degree at all. And so that's what piqued my interest initially. And I just really start trying stuff out, really trying to get my foot into the door. And then I realized it just came down to me learning a skill set, number one, but also how I start utilizing my time. So when I was in college, I was working a part-time job. My schedule was messed up. I would, be hanging out with the homies hella late, going to parties and stuff. And, I really just didn't care about having a structured schedule. But also, the majority of my time was going to classes, homework. And when you think about it, my day did not consist of IPAs in any type of form. And an IPA is an income producing activity. So what? Me going to school and going to class, that didn't make me no type of money. Learning physics, algebra, chemistry, all that didn't make me any money. Me going to work, making $15, $16, $17 an hour, that made me money, but shit, barely. And then, of course, me doing homework and shit, bro, that didn't make me no type of money. Me going to parties, me smoking, me drinking, me messing with these girls, none of that made me money. And so then one of my homies who was also in college and was on the same mission as me, he ended up finding about high ticket remote sales. He ended up getting into it and he ended up just dropping out of school and doing it full time. And he was just basically saying bro, these people are making a bunch of money. They're going to teach me how to make money. I'm going to just take the risk. I'm going to do it. So I seen he got a little bit of success from that. And, for me, I just jumped the gun immediately because we both had the same goal. When we seen the opportunity, I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense. You just need to learn how to sell the product. The leads are already there. The opportunities are there. People are requesting this stuff. So when you combine, a consistent lead flow, people reaching out about what you have on top of the skill set and being able to, identify what their problem is and provide them a solution, then you'll always make money. So in total, I went to school for 2 years. And then I ended up dropping out. My mom said it was the most dumb thing that, I could have ever done. I wasted all that time when I could just finish and get my degree because, when you have a degree, you can always make money because you can always get a job. And I was like, fuck that, because, at the end of the day, that's not what my goal was. I needed to make money ASAP, That was my goal. I always wanted to be rich young. I always imagined myself being rich young. And learning a high-ticket skill set is what allowed me to get closer to that every single day. And, at the end of the day, I used to fantasize about having the stuff that I have now, having a high-rise apartment, having an M3. I used to be looking at the POV dropping videos on YouTube. And now I have all that stuff, and now it's time to go to that next step, and get this Maybach, getting this Ferrari, all that good stuff, which will come over time. But it definitely wasn't coming from me being in no damn college classes, that's for sure. But if you want to learn exactly how I dropped out of college and became a 6-figure a year earner, comment Playbook, and I'll give you my exact guide.
I was just watching this TikTok video of this college graduate. He graduated with his computer engineering degree. He's saying how he thinks getting these degrees are useless because he's in a situation where he cannot find a job and shit, you feel me? Just like millions of other people in our generation. You go to the comments, nothing but fucking boomers probably up in there talking about, going to school isn't useless and shit like that, you feel me? It's like you can either work for 10 years or go to school for 10 years and shit like that. And then after the 10 years of going to school, then you'll just be successful. Who the fuck can just afford to dedicate 10 years of their life to something without fucking working? Tell me, only the privileged can do that. Motherfuckers who are in a situation where they can just go back to their parents' crib and shit like that and stay with them while they go to school. They don't have to focus on bills. They can just focus on their studies. Millions of other people in our generation, we're not afforded that same privilege, you feel me? We got bills. We got other motherfuckers that are dependent on us. You feel me? We just can't stop for 10 fucking years to just focus on school and shit like that to come back and shit, you feel me? That's not a possibility, especially with the way things look in how the economy looks, bro. You can't do that unless you are fortunate enough to do that, you feel me? So yeah, that shit really be pissing me off. Motherfuckers be talking about just go to school, just go to school, just go to school. You can go to school and shit like that, but at the end of the day, these companies is not fucking hiring people, you feel me? To be hired for a fucking entry-level position, you gotta have at least 10 years of experience. Like, what the fuck? I thought this was entry level. What the fuck? And motherfuckers might make the excuse, oh, well, you had time when you were a teenager, high school and shit like that. I know for a fact, niggas like me, I started paying bills and shit like that when I was 16.
I was helping pay rent. I was paying my own phone bill and shit like that, you feel me? I was putting money on water bills and helping keep the lights on and shit like that when I was 16, you feel me? I didn't have no time where I just focus on nothing but what? When I'm 14, 13 years old, the mindset of a 14, 13, 12-year-old is not thinking about his future, you feel me? Just like nobody thinking about their future when they 12 years old and shit. Like 12 years old, you're a kid. You're just trying to have fun, enjoy life and shit like that, you feel me? Then boom, shit gets serious and shit. Then you realize, damn.
Guys, college is actually useless. Like, seriously. I'm paying upwards of like $20,000 a year to go here just to have ChatGPT do all of my classwork. And then, like, yeah, maybe the community's good. That's one good thing. Anything else good, I can't name it.
Teachers aren't teaching. Teachers aren't teaching students. They're telling them to go home, watch videos, read the textbook, take notes, and then study the whole class. And then they're telling them to come back the next day and take a bunch of quizzes and tests. The only way you can succeed as a student is if you know how to study. And if you don't know how to study, sorry, but you're gonna do bad in school and then you're gonna get a bad job, and that's just sad. So let me show you how before it's too late. Whenever you have a test or an exam, you're gonna download your content and then you're gonna upload it onto this website. It's gonna give you a whole summarized version of the note. If you're confused about anything, you can ask the AI anything you're confused on. And you can even make it into a podcast if you need. Not only that, but there's also flashcards and quizzing yourself.
College is a scam. Yeah, it is. So I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently they're supposed to be garnishing wages and funds and things like that starting May 5th due to student loans. And I really, really hate to say it, but times like this makes me so glad that I didn't go to college. Even in high school, I always said and knew that college was sort of a scam, and I got made fun of for that mindset. Fast forward a couple years later, here we are. All in all, I knew college really wasn't for me because I only had about $14,000 worth of scholarships. Baby, that's not even gonna pay for the first semester. So I was thinking in the long run, like, yeah, I don't want to owe that much money. Plus interest, I'm out. College is definitely great for those who have a full ride, or for a person that goes into a field that is profitable. Isn't the definition of a scam investing in something and you're not getting whatever you got out of it back plus tenfold? Going into debt about 6 figures and only making 5 figures, that's a scam. That's a literal scam. Mind you, we shouldn't be paying for that anyway. Education should be free. My heart definitely goes out to the people that are owing so much in student loans, especially those who have entered a field that they're passionate about, or the ones who got a degree that they were passionate about and can't even use it because people aren't hiring others with no experience. The job market is trash. Even with a degree, you can't even get hired. So I'm praying for you guys. I pray that you hit the lottery. I pray that your loans get forgiven, disputed, knock off of your credit, because this is just unfair. It really is.
Super hot take, but I believe that we're at the end of a master's degree or a second degree doing anything for anybody besides a lawyer, doctor, any of that. I have a master's degree and I graduated with a 3.8, and I thought I was going to be a shoo-in for so many jobs. I have not gotten one interview since graduating in May, and I've probably applied for about hundreds of jobs and have had my resume redone over and over again. How I make money right now is literally TikTok shop and teaching various lessons, which I've been doing since I was about 15, that you don't need a degree for. I've also been claiming class action settlements, which if you've never heard of that, it's when companies are going through lawsuits. So you're able to like claim money from things that like you've either bought or used from those companies if you're eligible and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm literally relying on lawsuits to get money. I will say though, even though I'm side hustling my way through life right now, I wished I had known about claiming class action settlements sooner, because imagine if I had known about this in college. I just feel like I just missed out on hundreds of dollars, like literally free money. But personally, I use this app called Settlemate. I'll go ahead and put a picture of it right here. But when I downloaded it, it had me like, it was literally so easy. It just had me fill out like a bunch of like little questions. And then I got to like file my claims, and all of these claims were personalized to me that I qualified for and were like eligible for. And then every day I just check to see if there is more claims, and that's literally it. But yeah, little life hack, if you're in the same shoes as me, and if you are, let me know what kind of jobs you're applying to so I don't feel as alone. Super hot take, but I believe that we're at the end of a master's degree or a second degree doing anything for anybody besides a lawyer, doctor, any of that. I have a master's degree and I graduated with a 3.8, and I thought I was going to be a shoo-in for so many jobs. I have not gotten one interview since graduating in May, and I've probably applied for about hundreds of jobs and have had my resume redone over and over again. How I make money right now is literally TikTok shop and teaching various lessons, which I've been doing since I was about 15, that you don't need a degree for. I've also been claiming class action settlements, which if you've never heard of that, it's when companies are going through lawsuits, so you're able to like claim money from things that like you've either bought or used from those companies if you're eligible and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm literally relying on lawsuits to get money. I will say though, even though I'm side hustling my way through life right now, I wished I had known about claiming class action settlements sooner, because imagine if I had known about this in college. I just feel like I just missed out on hundreds of dollars, like literally free money. But personally, I use this app called Settlemate. I'll go ahead and put a picture of it right here. But when I downloaded it, it had me like, it was literally so easy. It just had me fill out like a bunch of like little questions. And then I got to like file my claims, and all of these claims were personalized to me that I qualified for and were like eligible for. And then every day I just check to see if there's more claims, and that's literally it. But yeah, little life hack, if you're in the same shoes as me, and if you are, let me know what kind of jobs you're applying to so I don't feel as alone.
Unless you guys want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a scientist, or an engineer, your college degree is becoming more and more useless by the day. I'm not saying that you don't learn anything from college. I'm not saying that college isn't useful. I'm just saying it's becoming more useless by the day. Because a couple of decades ago, if you had a college degree, especially from a good college, it pretty much guaranteed that you were going to have a good life, and you were going to make a solid income, and you were going to make good connections and get into the right places. I'm 24 years old. I have a business with 19 employees. Some of these employees have multi-$100,000 a year salaries. C-suite executives, right? CFO, COO, guys with 10 plus years experience in this industry. And I can guarantee you that I did not ask them what college they went to on their interview. I asked them what they've accomplished. What are you most proud of? Tell me your story, right? Talk to me about the previous places you worked and what you did there that had an impact. Talk to me about the things that went wrong. Talk to me about the biggest mistakes you've ever made, right? Those are the questions that matter, not what college did you go to. I'm not saying don't go to college. I went to college. I had a great time. I thought I got a lot out of it. I'm just saying that a college degree itself is becoming more and more useless. And so definitely do not rely on that, and definitely do not think that that is going to have the impact on your life that you want it to.
Guys, I'm going to be the one to say it first. I know some man don't like saying this, but uni was mad pointless. University was mad pointless. University was useless furthermore. I graduated in 2023. It's now 2025 heading into 2026, and I've still not utilized my degree once. I've worked 3 or 4 jobs since then, and I've not utilized my degree once. And I've had it on show. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Indeed. I'm passing my CV to everybody. Bearing in mind, I've got a first, by the way. I've got a first in accounting and finance. And man are telling me what? Come on. Uni is useless, man. And 3 years for a piece of paper. I'm a grown-ass man. I'll regret my decision and stand on it. Fair enough. I made the mistake of going to university, but alhamdulillah, I made my parents proud. I made my parents proud. That's one thing I won't regret. I made my parents proud by going to university. And cool, does that equal the debt that I put myself in? The interest, the riba that I put myself in? No. So I still regret it. However, I done it for the parents, so fair enough. But uni is useless. Don't put your children into uni. Don't go to university. If you've just done your A-levels and you're thinking to go to university, let this video be the reason you don't. You're going to go, you're going to do business management, you're going to go do something for 3 years, you're going to be 21 after it, you're going to be looking for a job, you're going to be looking at your friend Abdi. Abdi's going to be making 40k full-time TikToker. And you're sat there, just finished 3 years of uni, 27k in debt. And that's without talking about maintenance loan if you move out. You got bare debt, no job, no support, nothing. They don't help you after uni, you just get chucked out. Go, find a job with that degree, go. And then they all look at each other. You got all your professors and doctors looking at each other saying, alhamdulillah, we scammed another one. We scammed another one, guys. That's 40k debt in the bag. That's another Abdi gone. Uni is mad useless, and I'll be the one to say it. Yeah, the unis can come fight me, unis. I'll take you all on. One man versus 100 unis. Talking about unis. So I see people talking about uni. Oh, uni's such a good experience. But they go get that experience elsewhere, man. Man just go uni to be social butterflies. Guys are just going from a com to a com. You're not thinking about the real reason you're there. The certificate that's under your bed now. The certificate that's under your bed. All them motives in the accommodation are gone. All you've got now to show for it is the certificate under your bed. What's it done for you? It's done nothing for me. The certificate's done nothing for me. It's a touchy subject for me. So what, I'm in like 40k debt for what now? Who's gonna pay that? Me. Who's gonna pay that debt? Me. Got no job from uni. I kept myself in uni. And now I'm just hating.
The video cut out, but all jokes aside, if you man want to go uni, bro. It's a good experience. If you're a bit more pragmatic and outside than me, you might enjoy it more. But yeah, man, uni's 50-50, and for me it's useless. For you might like it, so don't let this video be a decider. I'm only trolling. But yeah, ST Gone Global, peace.